Hello and welcome to MumbleCast, the oddly structured, poorly researched podcast extravaganza. My name is Liam, and as always, I'm here with my co-host.
Hi.
Kayla. How are you doing, Kayla?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. I'm good too. What are we doing today?
You want me to say what we're talking about?
Sure.
Okay. We're going to talk about things that have become obsolete not recently, over the past, let's say, 2 decades. Things that have become, or things that could potentially become obsolete. Okay,
so like, just things? Like, objects?
Like ideas, principles, different.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. Yeah, okay.
In general.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, in that case,
let's
get ready to mumble.
Clicking to the point on that one.
Yep. No messing around. That's 60 seconds into the subject.
Yep.
All right, so this is a bit of an odd one. It's just going to come up from nowhere, but this topic.
Yeah.
And then I've not got one on the top of my head. Well, maybe I do. And I haven't really thought about it too much, but I'm sure. So the very simple, straightforward things are things like remembering a phone number.
Yeah.
Like, I know my phone number. I don't know anybody else's phone number.
I know mine and Drake's because they haven't changed in 15 years since I got a cell phone.
Since you had to remember them almost, yeah.
I remember old phone numbers. Like, I remember my phone number from when I was a kid because I had to learn it for so long. But other than that, no.
Yeah.
And, like, I remember my mom's number, my dad's. Like, ones that I had to remember to call, I remember those. But
so, I know my first of a house, 0131 657 2375.
Okay.
That was my original one for my very first home.
Okay.
My new one, 0131, like I said, no one's going to call, 669 1314. The only reason I remember that really is because 1314 is a date of the Battle of Bannockburn, which is a famous date in history for Scotland. They're like the only 2 numbers I'll know. I know my phone number, because it's the same one I've had for years as well. I did know my first girlfriend's number for a long time.
Okay.
Because it had a weird sequence where it was like 32, 64, and then something else. It had a nice wee sort of jump to it. I can't remember. It added up quite nicely or something, but I've forgotten that now, so that's it.
Yeah.
There's no reason to know any numbers anymore.
No.
Because you can just Google it.
Not at all. I'm trying to learn a friend's number because I'm using, every time I go to the grocery store, I'm using her, instead of getting my own Kroger card, you can use, like, they're attached to phone numbers.
Why don't you have your own Kroger card?
Because I don't want to go through the process of getting one.
It literally takes a second.
Well, then maybe I'll do that eventually. But right now, I'm just trying to, like, I have to go to the text message, pull it up, go to her phone number, type it in.
So for that one, I use my UK. It doesn't have to be a phone number. It just has to be a 7-digit code or whatever it is. 10-digit, whatever it is.
Okay.
It's something small because I use my UK one.
Okay.
And it works. However, I just want to get a card. I need to just send out in the post, say, okay, send me a card. It'd be so much just to beep it and scan it.
Well, that's why I would get one. I guess my number would be easier to type in anyway than hers. Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, remembering phone numbers, that's outdated now.
Yeah.
And all the things that go along with that, phone books.
Yep.
We used to have a really famous phone book in the UK called Yellow Pages. I don't know if you had it here.
Yeah.
Okay, Yellow Pages. Oh, well, right then. And just gone. Mm-hmm. Absolutely gone. What else is there? There's your phone books in general. We used to have a phone book right beside my house phone. We might probably still have it, actually. Of everybody's numbers in it. Don't need that anymore. My dad still uses it, so we still have it, because my dad doesn't have a phone. Dialing numbers on a phone.
Or like the rotary phones.
It's so rare that I do that anymore. Even like at work, I hardly use it, you know?
Yeah.
So telephones in general. I think, maybe not. I was going to say calling might get outdated soon, but
no.
I think calling might come back and text is going to disappear.
Yeah. I mean,
because it's getting so easy to call people.
Yeah.
And people do it through like FaceTime and all these other things. Mm-hmm. It could come a point where text messages disappear. Do you think? Or do you think that's not going to be the case?
I think that
my sister's still scared to call people, so probably not.
I think that people are getting to the point where it's like
She's 33.
don't mind calling now. And so it's like going back to where like text messages just are like quick. And then
either that or more places are going to be responding to text messages.
Yeah.
So back home in the UK, you can text a landline and like a robot will read it out to you.
Really?
Yeah, it's cool.
That's cool.
Weird. So either that or there's going to be places where someone's dedicated just to reply to text messages that the place gets. Like, oh, hey, Taco Cabana, what time do you close? And someone will respond to it rather than answering phones.
Yeah.
But then, and then people get frustrated. I don't know. So that's my first one, remembering phone numbers. Mm-hmm. Go on.
Yes. Dial-up.
I think that still happens some places.
Really?
I think so. Well, it's like places like Australia has really bad internet.
Really?
For a Western country. It has really bad internet. I think some places there still have dial-up.
Okay.
But yeah, as in non-modern day kids will not know the tragic life of dial-up internet.
Where my mom would call somebody.
It wasn't even if it was that slow. It was fine speed-wise for what you needed at the time.
Just connecting, tying up the phone lines.
Have you ever seen Matrix Modern Kids? That weird noises you hear that sound like computer things? That was pretty much dial-up. Yeah. Because what dial-up would do is it would dial your number and then you'd hear all these weird noises as it connects through the copper wiring in your phone line.
Let's see if I can pull it up so I can hear it.
Link to the operator to then link to the internet, and it was a really kind of cut through you a little bit.
Yeah.
So Kayla's going to play the sound now. That's it dialing. And that's it sort of trying to find the signal. That noise is...
And so that is your dial-up noise.
That's what you'd hear. And it'd come at your computer and it would be the noise on your phone when you're logging on. But the worst thing is if someone picked up the phone while you're on the internet, it cut the internet off.
Yep. Because
it's going through your phone line. Oh my god, that was so annoying. The amount of times my mum would pick up the phone when we were on MSN chatting to our friends. Oh, it was awful.
Did you, when Y2K was supposed to happen, did you, I remember my parents let me stay up, we had a big party or whatever, and then, literally at, 12:01, I went and turned on the internet to make sure that,
I don't think I had internet at that point.
Okay. We had, just got it, not too long before then, and we just got a computer, and, I was so afraid the world was going to end. And so, that was what was going to show me that the world didn't end, and so, immediately, as my little worrisome self kid did, I ran to the internet and turned it on to make sure that the world wasn't going to end.
It seems so funny turning on the internet.
Yes.
It seems such a silly thing to say nowadays, but that's what you did. Yeah. You turn it on. You would be disconnected. You would not be connected to, and nowadays we're connected to so many different functions. But you know what? Yeah, dial-up will never happen again.
Unless a nuclear apocalypse happened.
And even then, the process of dialing up, we've got so much infrastructure behind everything else now that you probably wouldn't need it.
Yeah.
Even satellites quicker now on your phones. Yeah. But that's more, that's the thing that's interesting. The thing is, there was a really small period of time where that was a thing. Yeah. And unless you were alive and active on the internet, you won't have any idea what we're talking about. My mum and dad, they were a little bit, too old to really understand the tragicness of dial-up. A little bit behind the times.
Yeah.
That's funny. And my granny won't know, but I will know. My kids won't know. It's just weird.
It's just us.
But that's similar to a fax machine. Have you ever sent a fax?
No.
I've never sent a fax.
No.
But faxes were massive in the 80s and 90s. Yeah. It's before email or proper emails, and everything was sent through fax. Some companies still use fax machines.
I was filling out a form the other day, and it was you can fax this in, and I was like, who the hell has a fax machine? Besides Staples, when I go print shit. Yeah. Come on, people.
And don't get me wrong, it's remarkable. It reads it, sends it out, and it's done. It's a real efficient way of getting things done. It fucking beats scanning things in. I know some people that take 2 hours to scan a document and sign it and send it to someone. If you had a fax machine, easy peasy. But that doesn't happen to everyone. So, fax machines do have their place, or could still have their place in the world.
Yup. All right, your turn.
What do you mean my turn? I just said fax machine.
Oh, okay.
No, you're right. Okay, what else has gone outdated? I was going to say paperback books, but not enough.
No.
Not enough. Big book shops have closed. Big ones.
Yeah.
But there's still a big market for, paperback books. I don't think Kindle and even video on your phone and stuff has taken over yet.
No.
I don't think there ever will be.
No.
Well, there might be, but I like turning pages.
Me too.
The rare times I do read.
Yeah.
So I think that's been quite good at standing the test of time.
I'm not gonna. I don't read on non-book forms.
You don't read on non-book forms?
Non-paper book forms.
Okay. I'm trying to think of other things I had that just aren't being used anymore.
So I realized this one kind of blew my mind because like I started driving before phones were big, like especially like obviously phones we have now weren't a thing.
Yeah.
Like I did have like a flip phone that was like just calling. Like I didn't know how to text.
Yeah,
that was it. But like other than that, if you wanted a map, you printed it off MapQuest before you left.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And MapQuest didn't update as you were driving. And then, like, you usually didn't print the way there and the way back. So then you had to, like, reverse and get home that way. But I was driving the other day.
You couldn't have been driving long before you could use phones, though, were you?
I got my first iPhone when I was, I guess, senior in college. And before that, I didn't have maps on my phone.
I guess so. I'm trying to think when I would have got my first... Well, the 2006 iPhones came out, so I would have been whatever age. And I didn't get my first iPhone until years after that.
Yeah.
So it was like 3GS. Had been out for 2 years before I got it.
I think I got my first iPhone in 2012.
I'm probably not too far off that.
Yeah. So prior to that, it was like a brick.
In fact, I was still playing with a Nokia phone when I met my first texting. So, yeah.
Yeah. But prior to iPhones, like we didn't really have maps on. Like, if you connected to the internet, you were pushing that in button real fast.
Yeah. I think the charges there. I don't think I've ever used a map like, for me to go driving.
Yeah, that's another thing that has become obsolete. I remember using one. So in 7th grade, I don't know. I went to Pennsylvania, and like again, we had like a cell phone.
Yeah.
That my dad had a cell phone, but none of us did. And so like just for calling, but then like how do you get there? I sat in the front, like my mom sat in the back with my sisters, and I mapped it out from point A to point B, and like would tell him as we were driving, like this is the road you take. So that was fun.
That's crazy. As in, so along with that maps, things like giving yourself enough time to get places and patience driving's probably all gone.
Yeah.
The practice of driving is an adventure rather than just driving to get somewhere has probably gone a little bit. And I'm not saying people did drive for an adventure, but they must have at some point. We drove to France numerous times as a family.
Okay.
How the hell my dad manages that?
Yeah.
It's remarkable.
The maps.
From A to Z, yeah. In the glove box.
Yeah.
But I think, so at the moment we're naming things that basically the iPhone or the smartphone has removed. Is there anything else we can think of?
Yes.
What?
Getting like pictures developed.
Yeah.
Like film.
Yeah.
Or like the cameras where you went.
Yeah, there'd be wind-up camera. Wind-up cameras still have their place.
Yeah.
Like, every time I go to a wedding, there seems to be a whole bunch of wind-up cameras for people just take random
But I think
pictures.
that's just nostalgia. Like, it's just...
a little bit. My sister, actually, my little brother had Polaroids.
Okay.
So people were going around with Polaroid cameras so it can be instant ones.
Yeah.
So you can show them at the end of the night type thing. But yeah,
again,
I think it's a bit
that's
nostalgia. And along with that, I guess you lose. But then it's just, well, you have digital still. So it's not as if it's like a phone's taken over it. But phone has kind of...
Yes, phone definitely has. And you can... obviously, pictures are still printed, but like actually taking the little roll out of the camera and taking it to the place, getting it developed.
Kodak. Was it Kodak? Who are the big developers?
What was one of them? Fujifilm?
Because we'd always go to, I think it was Kodak. And yeah, those shops stopped super quick. Like as soon as digital was a thing, they were like gone.
Yeah.
They must have lost so much money. It would suck to have been one of those people.
Yeah.
So
it was like getting so specialized in something.
We still have folders and folders of pictures of the wee like things, and my mum was like, "Oh, I just need to scan them all in to make them digital." I was like, "Yeah, you do, but scrap didn't out." They need to tell you what they need to do. Have like, you know that thing that counts money.
Yeah.
They need to do that. Put all the pictures in, and it takes it, scans it, takes it, scans it. Just do that. That'd be quite good.
Yeah, that would be
Actually,
better.
I think do scanners do that? Maybe scanners do that.
Maybe
don't
like
know.
an advanced scanner.
Maybe like an industrial scanner.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were good. Cursive writing.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't see that anymore, unless you're an old dude or
My
a lady.
grandma. Yeah.
Yeah. Even I don't cursive write anymore. I used to. Even into university, I'd cursive write, but my writing's messy anyway. But I don't think kids even get taught that anymore, do they?
I don't think so.
You kind of go to schools, maybe not the schools that teach cursive, but
so at the elementary level, no.
we called it joined up writing.
Joined up writing.
Yeah, we didn't call it cursive.
I can't remember if my high schoolers knew cursive or not. I remember being taught cursive in elementary school.
But so the weird thing is cursive things like S's didn't make any sense in Q's because you all had these wee tails that go up and round. And my boss at work still uses it, but he's 70 or something, so he uses cursive from like 40 years before I was born, and I can't understand half his writing. Honestly, I have to use context for most of this stuff because it's just cursive and it's all weird, and it's in a red pen, which is even more difficult to read.
I think next week I'm gonna start writing the workouts on the board in cursive and see what they say.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
If it just like people are just like, what is this?
What is that old school method of writing? Yeah. Do kids still use pencils? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Try to think. You don't go into schools where kids all have tablets and stuff yet, have you?
No,
my sister's
not like
school
where they have,
gives them all tablets. No. Yeah. I don't think that's going to go obsolete anytime soon.
No.
The written stuff. What else? I'm trying to think.
Blockbuster or movie rental places.
Yeah, movie rentals. How you watch media in general. Yeah. You know, like the amount of. Well, everyone watches Netflix now. I've not heard anyone in a long time saying, "Oh, I was watching." Well, in UK, BBC. Well, that's a lie. In UK, we still watch BBC 1, 2, and 3 quite often. Channel 4 and 3, ITV. But most of the time, it's did you see this on Netflix? Do you see this on Hulu? Did you see this on?
Yeah, it's all the
X,
streaming.
Y, and Z. So that's changed. But I mean, it's still watching TV.
Yeah, but it's just actually I remember going I loved Friday nights when my parents take us to Blockbuster, and then we'd spend 30 minutes trying to we could only get one movie to rent, and we'd spend 30 minutes me and Megan fighting over which Kendall didn't get a say.
Yeah,
which actually Kendall might have.
She's 10 years younger. Not quite. Oh no, almost, yeah.
I mean, she was either just a baby or
she would have.
They were already gone.
Huh. So I'm going to throw one in there that's not anything to do with technology. And then maybe you didn't do this, maybe this is the thing that America doesn't do, but sitting and eating at a dinner table with your family. That's a practice that I feel was something back in the past and isn't anything now. And maybe you didn't.
I did. But I did up and through high school.
At every meal until I left home at 22.
Yeah.
I ate at a dinner table with my mum and dad.
I mean, other than
family.
when I worked, because I did work nights after school, so then those date nights I wouldn't. But any other time.
Nope, it was dinner's ready, come sit at the table, eat at the table, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
That's how we do it. And we chat about our life, and I don't think that happens anymore. Well,
to
be fair, it started not happening then, because I'd go into my friend's house, and they wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You know, and I'd be like, this is weird.
Yeah.
But for me, it was always sit down and eat dinner with your family. I'm going to make sure it happens in my house.
Yeah, me too.
It's a practice I don't think is...
Except I'll stand up because I don't like sitting. But I will stand at the table and eat.
You don't like sitting at the table? Why not?
I don't know. I just like standing.
That's a weird thing.
I know.
But you've never stood at a table when I've been eating with you.
I have. If people are over and we can all sit at the table, I will sit. But if they're last week, the fact that I sat was a strange thing. Usually, if there's not enough seats, I will be the one to stand because I like standing.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
So in our house in Virginia and in Clemson, we had a bar. And sitting, it's like sitting at our bar now. It's not comfortable to sit at the stools at this bar. You don't know, it's either, so I would just rather stand and not worry about the seat and put my leg on the stool instead of actually sitting at it.
I would like if it was high enough. Because I was standing eating at yours last week, and I had to lean over with my legs spread so I'm at a good level.
Yeah.
So I guess it all depends on height, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's one that I'd like to get back at some point. What else is there? Items or practices that are no longer used. Do people iron anymore? Probably, it's just me.
You iron?
I don't iron.
No, I don't iron either.
I've not ironed anything in about 10 years.
Like, so Drake irons his
Not even
clothes
joking.
every week. Well, he stopped and he started taking them to the dry cleaners because they will do it for about $8.
Yeah.
And that seems like a lot better amount of time.
So I don't wear shirts.
That's like that time versus money thing.
Yeah.
So $8 is well worth it. Because if, like, there's been times where I have ironed his clothes and he's asked me, like, please do not iron my clothes anymore. Like, you are horrible at this.
I know how
Don't
to
do
iron.
it.
My dad made sure I learned how to iron because he was in the place and he'd have to iron his shirts and stuff. So I know, but
I'm so bad
scrap
at it.
doing that, man. It sucks. I used to have to do it before rugby and before work when I worked at stores and stuff. Yeah, but I guess it still does happen. It's just us being kids, millennials.
What else is there?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's heaps of stuff.
Do you think that keys will become obsolete? Like with the keyless entry doors and the cars that you can just like have your keys in the car.
I like having a hard lock, something I can control that isn't number based or electronic based. However, I do like having that as well. We have a couple of friends who've got the sort of the keypads, and it's great. I think it's very useful as long as you know. I would always recommend to everyone change it every 6 months and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But each one of them's also got a hard key.
Yeah.
And I know like the F-150s have got their sort of dial code on the side of the door you can use sometimes, and that's cool. But I don't know, I like a key personally, but will it get forgotten? Probably, because it makes it seem more techy.
For sure.
It's safer to have a hard thing. You know, I don't think anyone's going to want to buy a house and not have some
Not
form of
have
a key.
a backup method. Yeah.
So I think they will always be there. They may not be the forefront of it, the thing that's used most, but yeah. How about brick and mortar stores?
I hope not.
Do you think they'll ever go away
No,
entirely?
I don't, because I think that takes away from like going in, trying on clothes, making sure it fits, or like checking it at the store to see if I like it. So no.
But do you think there'll ever be a place where it's like, we don't hold any stock? You can come and try things on, but you can't actually buy it. It all comes from a warehouse, and you have to get it tomorrow.
No, I think that would just piss people off. Because imagine you got there and you were like, I really want this shirt. And then it's like, okay, I try it on. And then it's like, okay, now you have to order it and wait 10 days for it to get here.
But it'll be like super fast. It'll be like, it can get with you. Like Amazon does today deliveries or tomorrow deliveries.
I don't know.
Well, either that or they need to make somehow postage easier because people want to return things then.
Yeah.
And so I occasionally sell things online, and having to go to USPC or USPS, or FedEx, or wherever, it drives me mental. Maybe it's because I don't have... Because they fucking... Who opens at like 9 and closes at 5?
It's ridiculous.
Everyone else is working.
Yeah.
It's stupid
ridiculous.
times. Open at 12 and then close at 8. That will help people. Everything else...
Or open at 6.
Everyone else in the US stays open late.
Yeah.
Every shop's open till 10.
That's like in the Netherlands. I don't know if they did that in Scotland. But in the Netherlands, there's one day a week. It's Donderdag. So Thursday. And that's like the shopping day. Because the stores close so early the rest of the week that only like the people who aren't working can make it to it.
Same in the UK.
So Thursday
late night
is shopping
Thursday.
day. Yeah, Donderdag.
And it's usually everything goes at 6, 5, half 5, 6. Late nights, sometimes open till 8, maybe 9 if it's a good store. Postage places don't though.
Okay.
So in the UK, if you ever bought a package and it doesn't get delivered to your house, they don't typically leave it on your doorstep. They'll go down to the Royal Mail kind of place, and you have to go there to get it. But you can't make it in the mornings. You know, it's and then you have the close time if you're working or doing anything like that. So you have to go down to the bloody thing, and you're only going on a Saturday morning, and it's only open on a Saturday morning between like 6 and 9 because it's a Saturday morning, and then you go there and everyone's there. So there's a big, it's awful. It really bugged me.
Just like mail in general.
What
frustrating.
needs to be invented is drop boxes at people's houses. Everybody's house needs to have a drop box.
Yep.
And it'll make Christmas safer and it'll make packages safer. I don't know why it's not invented. I should invent it right now.
Yes.
It needs to be a drop box.
Cut that part out and you invent it.
You have letterboxes, especially on these sort of houses. You need a heavy security drop box.
Yep.
And everyone should have
I
one.
definitely agree with that.
And
like the Amazon shopper boxes, like the Amazon locations where you can go pick stuff up at, like that, except at your house.
That needs to be done, yeah.
Yeah.
And if you can make a cheap one that can be secured, that's what everyone should have.
Yep.
If you ask me. And that will happen soon enough, I think. Someone will come up with one. Amazon will come up with one.
Yeah.
In fact, if I could get it done, I could sell them before Christmas. I would sell a shit ton of them. Hands down, you could sell a shit ton of them. I could speak to a manufacturer and actually look to get that done. We should try that. I'm going to look into that. Because I think that would work. If you could do that in an aesthetically pleasing manner, there's no way people
even
would
if
do
it
that.
wasn't aesthetically pleasing, like it's safe, especially here in Houston.
Because the news was filled and Facebook was filled with people saying, yeah. And if you made it the same size as a wheelie bin, just put it beside the wheelie bins or the trash cans, whatever,
I know what you're talking about.
I don't know how you'd have to get it secured to the ground somehow, so you maybe have like bolts or something.
Yeah.
But even then, it's a lot harder to pick up a drop box than it is a package.
Yep. And it's like a lot more, like people will see it.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one, it's like, oh, that could be their package that they're weirdly picking up. And then jumping in the car and pulling their beanie down and driving away. I saw you. Reported you to the cops.
It would cause some vandalism, but eventually it wouldn't, because you can vandal people's houses if you want anyway. So, and letterboxes have already got that. So I think that'd be a good idea.
Yep.
A
lot of townhomes though now. Well, actually no. I was gonna say they have the little boxes where you can put them in. They have like the mailboxes and then like the bigger ones where they put packages in, but like not Amazon.
Nobody uses them.
If it's USPS,
we have one,
they will.
But nobody uses. Oh, do they? Okay,
but
I've never had that.
If it's only the mail people. So if it's UPS or FedEx or Amazon, they won't.
Well, I always have just got the keys in them and left there. So I'm like, if anyone can come and just take it from there anyway. Yeah. And it's even worse because it's not beside your camera and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, so what was that practice that we discussed from that? How did we get onto that? Buying online?
Stores, brick and mortar stores.
Because there's a store in the UK called House of Fraser. It's like a department store. And they don't have a big building anymore. They just have small shops. You go and look through the catalogs, order something. So it's like a brick and mortar order store. It's weird.
That is strange.
So at least that does exist, I guess.
Okay. Checkbooks.
Yeah. I have used a checkbook before.
I mean, I have too,
but
a long ass time ago.
I've not used it in a while. Online banking's so much easier. It's just...
Funny story. We went to this store the other day. Actually, this is another one. We went to Cloudson Creamery, and they've become a cash-free store. So cash also. So we walk in, and the guy at the counter is like, "Hey, just like let you guys know we're a cash-free store. Like, do you guys have an alternative method of payment?" And the friend we were with looks at like dead in the eye, straight face, and says, "You guys take checks, yeah?" And like the guy had no idea how to respond, which he was just like mouth dropped open, like completely blown away by that. And then the rest of us died laughing. It was great.
Well, what it means is like that's not a ridiculous question. It's just a very outdated question.
It was hilarious.
I have seen people at supermarkets paying with checks though.
Well, yeah, but like for it to be a cash-free establishment and her to walk in and be like, "But you guys take checks," and like be so serious about it. That was what really got him.
The funny thing is, it's a silly question, but it's not a silly question at the same time. I'm assuming it was a no.
It was definitely a no. Oh. And then like it took probably the whole 10 minutes that we were in there ordering for him to like think about it. And then when Drake went to pay, Drake like got out his Apple Pay and he was like, "Oh, we only take checks." And like that was his comeback to it. But it took 10 minutes for him to come up with that and like not be so shocked by it. It was hilarious. But yeah, checkbooks.
There's kids that won't know what checks are.
No.
Never seen a check in our life.
Yeah.
I've got a wee document of some things to help me look up. Someone says postcards here. I don't think postcards are that outdated. I think people still use postcards to some degree.
I don't send them, but Drake and I did collect them when we were traveling.
That's probably more what they use for now, I guess, than anything else.
You know something that went outdated quicker than I thought it would?
Mm-hmm.
Blu-rays.
Yeah, I mean, people still buy Blu-rays, but yeah, they're not... Streaming came in so quickly.
Yeah. Because it was like DVDs, like it was VHS, and like we had tons of VHS, and it was like, okay, DVDs are the new thing, and like then we had tons of DVDs, but like I feel like there was like years between those things.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, now the new thing is Blu-ray. And it's like, before I even had a chance to go like hop on the bandwagon and buy a lot of Blu-rays, it was like, now you can just either go use Redbox and rent it for $1 and then return it, or you can stream it.
I think the big issue with Blu-ray was people didn't have the TVs to really benefit from the sound or the quality, and it wasn't that big a step from DVD.
No.
Like, I've never watched a Blu-ray and thought, wow, this is so much better than a DVD.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I don't really notice the difference.
Yeah.
VHS to Blu-ray was massive because you could skip a lot easier. You could clearly, zoom through it. You could choose your chapters. You had extended feet, all that sort of stuff. You didn't have to rewind anything. No. But the jump from Blu-ray, it just wasn't.
And then the other thing was
enough.
like, from VHS to DVD, like that was a different machine. Like people had to go out and buy it, and then it's like, from that point, like, do I really want to go spend more money on a Blu-ray on another machine, or like?
Machine was more expensive than the CD machines, even when they first came out.
Yeah.
And the Blu-rays are still double the price of a DVD.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, why? It's not worth it.
No.
It's just not worth the quality. I will watch shit fuzzy from a cinema on TV on my phone if I don't need DVDs.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one that definitely came and went real quick. But it's the same as Nokias and all that sort of stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
It says here, warming drinks on the stove. Did you ever warm drinks on the stove? Do you just use the microwave now?
If I'm making hot chocolate, a lot of times I will do the milk in the pan.
Yeah, I will if I'm heating up a liquid, I will almost always heat it up on stove because I don't know how the fuck to control a microwave.
If it's water, I'll do the microwave.
It's either too hot, or it's too cold, or it's not warm enough, and it takes minutes. I'm like, it's actually quicker just sticking it on the stove.
Yeah. I drink this as coffee every morning by boiling the water on the stove.
Yeah. You guys don't have kettles though, so you guys are mental.
Well, I had a kettle for a long time, and then I didn't use it, so I got rid of it.
I mean, do we have a kettle? No, we don't. I mean, Americans don't have kettles. It's weird. Kettles are electrical water heating devices.
I had one for a really long time.
There's two more here which I don't really get. Trying on shoes at the mall. I would still try on shoes at the mall if I wanted a new pair of shoes.
I think as long as there's brick and mortar stores, you're definitely going to try
Who doesn't try on shoes at this mall?
I don't know. I try them on.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, where else do you try on shoes? Sending love letters. You ever sent a love letter? I sent love letters, but only when I was a kid and I had that sort of romantic feeling of sending love letters.
Like mail them?
Yeah, I guess so.
No, I've never done that.
No, it's just dick pics, so I guess that's
But
fair
I
enough.
have done like, so like even as recently as like last year, like with two of my best friends in Virginia, I like we will write back and forth, like actually like write letters back and forth. Really, one of them is the only one that responds, but
yes,
she also enjoys writing. Like she like gets into that same like writing and stationery and like all that kind of stuff too.
It can be quite personal. Not personal as like, I mean like it does show, and people still appreciate now doing handwritten letters. It shows a level of care which a text message doesn't. Anything else doesn't. Even a phone call doesn't. Like
I will always write to my like close friends. I will always write a birthday card. Yeah. Even if they hate it.
Yeah. Even so, I still I hate that card. You didn't write it. That's the thing.
Well, there's a reason. I also tailor it to the person.
You didn't write it was anyway. I sort of had a Moonpig card for my parents. Like it's like the Moonpig. It's like an online card system. And I like the cards, and you can personalize them great, but they're not handwritten, and it does lose a bit of the care about it. I'm like, okay. And I know it's easier because I live 4,000 miles away, but there's a part of like, okay.
That's something my dad was really good about. Like every holiday, in the Netherlands, he would send. Japan, he didn't, but in the Netherlands, he sent like Valentine's, birthday, like Easter, everyone he would send a card. And I'm like, it costs a hell of a lot to get it over here, but thank you.
Yeah. My mum once sent my little brother, who was living in America at one point, Haribo, because she wanted to send him something. And she spent a fortune sending buddy Haribo over. I was like, Mum, like, out of all the things from Scotland, you're going to send him a sweet that's made in the US. But anyhow, it was a thought. I got a couple more here, which I don't necessarily agree with. Okay. Well, I do agree with. One, definitely, travel agents.
Okay.
I think we went to a travel agents when I was in my last year at high school, because because we booked a big trip my brothers booked a big, I didn't go on a trip. Like, everyone in school booked a trip to go away for a week or 2 weeks.
Okay.
So, at the end of school, you typically, like, the whole year would go on holiday together. Mm-hmm. I didn't go because I'm like, well, I don't drink and I don't want to go on this bullshit. So I stayed at home, like, me and one other person who I didn't like anyway. And they were away on holiday, and, like, you have a end of year thing at school, but everyone's away on holiday. So it was like me and 2 other people in, like, the assembly hall addressing the whole school, and no other 6 years, which was the last year of school there. It was weird. I ended up having to, like, be the head boy, or do the head boy speech. It was silly.
That's funny.
Nailed it, though.
Good.
You ever been to travel agents?
No.
No, me neither.
No.
Well, not since then, anyway. It says renewing your car registration from the DMV, but that still has to be done that way, right?
I have no idea.
That's bullshit. Written essays at school? I'm pretty sure you write essays at school.
Yeah,
So.
that one.
And there's another one, hanging out laundry. I still hang out laundry. Not here, but in UK, we still hang out laundry.
Yeah, for sure.
Like here, because everyone just doesn't care about energy and uses dryers, it's easier.
Yeah.
But
what about CD books?
I still have 4 CD books downstairs filled with all my CDs.
Of course you do.
Yep. I love
Kindle
my
has
CDs.
mine.
I should just get rid of them because I can listen to them all on Spotify. I pay $10 a month for Spotify, but I just like some of them. Do you know what? You know what I like it for? Because I look through, I was like, that's who I want to listen to, and I'll go listen to it on Spotify. I don't actually use a CD, but I will look at it and think, oh, I want to listen to that band. It's just basically a record.
Reminder.
Yeah.
What about? There was one more I saw. Oh, pagers.
Yeah, I guess they came and went. They were just replaced by mobile phones, really.
Yeah.
Doctors still use them, apparently.
I just remember, like, paging my dad, and I would always page him 911 because then he would call.
I never had a pager. I never knew I had a pager. They weren't very big in the UK, I don't think. Or if they were, it wasn't my age group that had them.
Yeah, my dad had one, that was it. And it was just, like, once I learned how to use it, I 100% took advantage of it. It's like, I need you to call me back because I want to know what I'm having for dinner. 911. What are we having for dinner?
Yeah.
He would get so mad.
I bet.
Like, well, I'm hungry.
So I think we're going to end it with probably... There's 2 things that they kind of go hand in hand a little bit. A forgotten or lost practice is not knowing something.
Yes.
And not being able to find out about it.
Yep. Because
Like,
we can Google everything. Literally
there were times when I was a kid, I'd say, how big do elephants get? I don't know. Really
and
big?
you, like, talk about it.
Yeah, or you discuss it, or you try and find it in a book if you happen to have an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
No idea now. Now everyone's answered.
Yeah.
And it takes away some fun of conversations. So like last week we were at your house and we were talking about who are the best action stars.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was a good conversation or not is not the point. The point is, by the end of it...
into it, though.
Yeah, we got into it and it was fun. And then by the end, someone was like, okay, I'm just going to check online to see what the decision is. I was like, well, that loses the fun of it.
Yeah.
Because once you've done that, then you either get wrong or you've forgotten about someone and then you have to... And it's... No, the idea is...
It's debating.
Yeah.
That's the fun part, like actually having a conversation.
Yeah, and the fun is trying to remember someone that can be added. Everyone's like, oh yeah, or no, or... Yeah. You don't get that anymore, and...
We should start having more conversations like that.
Yeah, it's like phones off, discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can't Google it. We just have to like try to come up with it.
Or if you don't know, okay, don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
It's actually quite good fun, guys, to some degree, because you can actually try and problem solve something, or you can actually learn and listen to people rather than ignoring them because you're Googling something, which we do quite often in this podcast, but it's because we have to.
Well, next podcast, let's do it.
But that means we just have to come researched. We'll become...
Yeah, but then whatever we don't know, we don't know.
But our only one ever comment on iTunes is, you guys are getting things wrong. Research more.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, just normal conversations.
This is not good for it, but yes, normal
conversations we will.
Yes, I agree. Even though I do love to Google things because I need to know answers.
But that doesn't mean you can't Google them after.
That's true, but I have to keep a record of what I want to learn.
Pen and paper.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
So guys, we will try. Let us know if you've got any forgotten practices or lost practices or things you used to do and were beneficial to the world that's now stopped. Let us know if you have any conversations that you didn't know something and you figured it out or worked it out some other way. Anything else we can ask them to do? That's about it.
That's really good.
Cool. Well, good chat. Actually, that's a bit longer than we thought.
Yeah.
All right. Well, blah, blah, blah. Yakety schmackety. I've been Liam.
I'm Kayla.
And this has been MumbleCast.
Bye. That was a good one. Oh, shit.